Welcome to the second match from this best out of 3, taken from the CraftCup, the quarterfinals, and once again a face-off between two teammates, here enemies, aTnDarKFoRcE, German player, and here the light blue Protoss, aTnSocke, both of them members of Team Alternate Attaxx, and quite strong European players. I'm gonna throw a couple of spoilers here, so if you didn't watch the first match, well, you should, so go take a look at it. Basically what happened is that Socke took the first victory, 1-0, and now DarKFoRcE has to do something about it on this match here, or else he won't stand a chance and, well, he will lose the series. And whoa, DarKFoRcE going for the 7 pool? This is really early and quite risky. Apparently DarKFoRcE doesn't want to have a long, straight macro game and let the game get into the mid and late stages. He just wants to kill Socke as fast as possible, or at least try his luck killing it. But I mean, Socke is quite a high-profile and skilled player, so I'm not sure what DarKFoRcE is planning. Is he expecting Socke to just fall for this? Well, we'll see. Let's wait a bit, but like I was mentioning from the first match and just making a little rewind, what happened was that both players had a big army, but DarKFoRcE was just, I don't know, he was kind of in a standoff. He was just getting contained on his base, and he couldn't attack down the ramp because he was afraid of getting all those force fields splitting his forces and just grinding all of his army into minced meat. So ended up with a bunch of DTs destroying his bases, and he just had a big army and didn't do anything with it. And now incoming Socke into the main base, saw the Zerglings coming out, saw the second wave as well, so he knows there's a fast pull incoming, getting the second gateway, preparing a containment here. He needs a unit to wall off that small gap there, or else the Zerglings will be able to get in. The first gateway just got finished. Now he needs to chrono boost some zealots out, I would say. There it is, the first one, and 4 Zerglings incoming. A single probe is gonna try to wall them off. Nice move there. 2 pylons on the bottom of the ramp, making sure that the Zerglings won't be able to enter instantly into the main base, and buying a couple of precious seconds there for Socke, so that first zealot came out. And DarKFoRcE, instead of running into the mineral line, is just fighting this zealot. Actually killed it, but lost a couple of Zerglings there. Not sure if it was the best solution, but I guess we're gonna see the consequences from that soon enough. Second gateway finished as well, so now we're gonna have plenty of zealots coming out and trying to finish off this assault from DarKFoRcE. DarKFoRcE has 3 Zerglings that currently roaming around Socke's base, and notice on the minimap there's more Zerglings advancing, but meanwhile Socke is just preparing his forces. He's going to be able to contain the advance soon enough. He's getting 2 more zealots out, so I don't think that DarKFoRcE will be able to be successful with this assault. It did kill several of those workers, but notice how Socke is still ahead, 13-9. Keep in mind that by going for that fast spawning pool, DarKFoRcE just committed a lot of resources, a lot of larvae into making Zerglings. So basically he just sacrificed having more drones, more of an economy, to get a very early assault on Socke, and basically at the moment doesn't seem like it's paying off. Still 1 Zergling inside the base, not gonna do much, that's for sure. Well, at least it's gonna be used for scouting purposes, I would say. But now DarKFoRcE will have to transition into something else, and apparently he is preparing a transition into roaches. All of his Zerglings getting pulled back. His first assault didn't work exactly as he expected, I would say, and now he's contained inside his own main base. Oh, this is kind of a tricky position. Socke placing zealots on top of his ramp, but now the roaches incoming, and this roaches will be able to shoo away the zealots, making sure that DarKFoRcE will be able to try to expand later on, I would say. He has such a weak economy at the moment that I'm not sure what his plan is. Usually the consequence of going for that fast pull is that, well, or you win it and you kill it early on with that pull, or well, you're going to be so far behind that it's really hard to come back and actually stand a chance against your opponent. Apparently DarKFoRcE is trying to commit himself to do that, but as you can see, harvester count almost double for Socke at the moment. On the income, he is a bit ahead as well, so DarKFoRcE will have to do something really good, some brilliant move here to actually be able to recover and get himself back into his game. For now, transition into roaches, trying to fend off all of those zealots, and there's plenty of zealots here. and the Socke gathered a lot of zealots, making sure he will be having any kind of defense if DarKFoRcE tried to assault again. And meanwhile, just DarKFoRcE getting a small group of roaches, trying to get Socke into his base, make sure he's going to be able to at least establish his econ game and stand a chance on this match, because at the moment he's so far behind that he needs to buy time, and apparently that's what DarKFoRcE is trying to get now. He's shooting at those zealots, trying to make sure that there won't be any kind of push into his main base, at least not for now. And meanwhile he's trying to muster up his amount of drones. Look at this, 3 more getting produced. He's just basically trying to get as many workers as possible to balance the econ game. 17 against 19, so for now DarKFoRcE actually being successful at his plan, getting a lot of workers, but his army, as you guys know and as you can see, is not that big. 2 roaches at the moment with 5 zerglings and 1 queen. He did buy some time, but now he needs to keep moving on. He needs to grow, or else Socke might be able to apply a deadly blow into his plans and just kill it off really quickly. Keep in mind that DarKFoRcE has been keeping tabs. He has some overlords here, taking a look at all the buildings, trying to control his opponent, see where is he going next, and now finally forced to pull back, retreat into his main base, and Socke apparently is gonna pull back as well. So whoa, I'm a bit surprised. DarKFoRcE actually was able to pull off that first pull, that first early pressure, and then the defense. And now apparently, econ-wise, look, harvester count still balanced, though the Zerg player should be ahead, shouldn't be like this, but well, it isn't the case. But attending to the fact of how much far behind he was, I'm actually impressed. DarKFoRcE actually recovered from that, and now he's trying to balance the game and get himself established for the mid and late game. As you guys saw, hatchery going down on the Natural Expo, gonna be playing out of 2 bases soon enough, while advancing into this single Stalker that was trying to get some pokes at the units from DarKFoRcE. Wasn't very successful, had to pull back, and now DarKFoRcE actually getting map control, gaining control of the Xel'Naga watchtower that is supposed to be on hold from Socke, supposed to be controlled by Socke, and he's just trying to make a small containment into the entrance, this bottleneck to the Natural Expo from Socke. Socke not very worried for now, leading the econ game as you guys can see, getting a Nexus down, so picking up his Natural Expo as well. And now once again DarKFoRcE advancing into this Natural Expo from Socke, trying to destroy as fast as possible that Nexus. Nice assault, forcing Socke to cancel the Nexus, and a very good move, once again applying the pressure. And Socke needs to do something about this. He needs to probably reinforce his army, which he is. 2 more gateways, so it's going to be 4 gateway plays soon enough. Also is Stargate getting some Void Rays out, so interesting move here. Already the Cybernetics core in the Forge running and working. We already seen some photon cannons getting placed as static defenses, but interesting this approach from DarKFoRcE, because he was actually able to recover, so to speak. I mean, it's still not perfect, but he was able to recover. The econ game is balanced now, and he's just trying to get himself into this game once again. It's something that you don't see that often at this high level of skill. It's hard to recover. Usually your opponent is able to just bash you back when you go for such an early spawning pool. And now DarKFoRcE going for a very unorthodox maneuver. Look at this. Aspire way far away from all his bases. He's going to prepare some kind of surprise attack, and well, he needs some kind of counter to this Void Rays. For now he only has queens, but he is get the Hydralisk then, and the Hydralisks are very effective against gateway units and obviously against air units. Their DPS is quite strong. The only issue is you need to make sure that you have a way of defending those Hydralisks. This is a 2-pronged attack, as you guys can see. There's 2 assaults, one going on with the Void Ray on the main base, another one going on the Natural Expo. I'm just following it on the picture-in-picture window, as you guys can see. And this Void Ray was just trying to poke at the base, wasn't very successful. Probably going to try to kill this Overlord. Oh, nice transfusion on the Overlord, making sure he's going to get him alive and kicking and shooing away that Void Ray. But meanwhile this Void Ray has been running away, and oh, it spotted the Spire. Oh, how unfortunate for DarKFoRcE. Now he's going to be in trouble. he was trying to get this secret base, getting the Spire built here, and now he has a fully charged Void Ray poking at his Spire, and he has no way of defending it. Incoming Queens, oh, they're gonna drag so much outside of the creep. Also 2 Hydralisks trying to make sure that he will have some kind of defense to keep this Void Ray from destroying his Spire, but notice how the creep is disappearing because of the Overlord getting killed, and the Queens are just dragging themselves here. Finally, they were almost here, but the Hydralisk finished off. So, good move by DarKFoRcE. Saved his Spire, barely. Now he needs to get some creep or else it's gonna just slowly get destroyed. And the Queens are trying to place some creep tumors, a transfusion going down, and this desperate move by DarKFoRcE is actually funny. It's something that I don't see that often on these high-profile games, on the tournaments, and quite interesting, to be honest. Okay, so as you can see, Hydralisk then is there. He's going to be able to muster up his army with some Hydralisks. Meanwhile, he's focusing his macro game into this rich mineral field. It is a good option. He needs to expand. He was actually able to recover from that first assault that he sacrificed a lot of workers from, and now trying to just establish his game and fight back Socke. But Socke now knows that this Spire is there, so incoming the Phoenix, probably looking for another Overlord to poke at. You know that DarKFoRcE needs obviously an Overlord to get some creep, or else he's gonna lose this Spire soon enough. He's been keeping it alive with some transfusion, so a pretty nice move there, pretty nice play. And meanwhile, Socke Air Forces are getting ready to advance into his opponent's base. 2 Void Rays, let's see the unit composition. 10 Stalkers, 2 Void Rays, 1 Phoenix and 2 Sentries against 7 Roaches and 5, whoa, 5 Corruptors. That's a lot of Corruptors to counter that small group. I might, just wondering if DarKFoRcE isn't committing way too many of his resources to those Corruptors. I mean, Socke did win for flying units, but not that many. And incoming the Corruptors, they're just patrolling around, trying to find some of those air units. More Corruptors coming out. He's getting a lot of Corruptors built. I think that DarKFoRcE is considering Socke just went for a big Air Force play, and well, actually he didn't. He got some air units, but once again he transitioned, as you can see, robotics facility into robotics bay. So what happens is he created some air units, forced DarKFoRcE to get some air defenses, but I guess that DarKFoRcE might have been gone way too further than we committed too many resources to his air defense. As you can see, 13 Corruptors is a lot of Corruptors, and he's going to be in for a surprise because Socke does have a fairly big ground army. 130 against 124, balanced there, with DarKFoRcE just a little bit ahead. Picking up a hatchery on this rich mineral field, and also his Spire finally is here, just doing fine because there's plenty of creep tumors, getting some creep for it, but this Overlord is gonna get killed. Meanwhile, as you can see from that big light blue blob on the minimap, Socke has been mustering up a big ground army, and I think this spelled troubles for DarKFoRcE, because DarKFoRcE has a lot of Corruptors and he doesn't have much of a ground army. Here we go, force field play, splitting his forces into 2 groups. The group on the back, look at it, is doing nothing, and there's a bunch of Corruptors flying around, can't do a single thing except for throw some corruptions at those units. And oh, this is not good for DarKFoRcE. He committed way too much to those air units against 2 Void Rays and 1 Phoenix, and now he's just paying the price. He doesn't have enough of a ground army, and he GG's out of this match. Quite unfortunate, I would say, for DarKFoRcE. I guess Socke just convinced him that he had a big air force, and well, he didn't. He only had like what? Yeah, 1 Void Ray, 1 Phoenix. There was a moment he had 2 Void Rays, 1 Phoenix, and DarKFoRcE just committed himself to way too big of an air force army, and well, didn't have any use for it. So yeah, pretty intense game. Kind of unorthodox. We saw some very interesting moves like this secret base here, this secret Spire, and well, it was a curious game, an interesting game. I kinda enjoy it. Okay, well, it's done. The series was taken by Socke, obviously, 2-0, and well, DarKFoRcE needs to practice more, or is ZVP, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed this match, okay? See you all later. I'm gonna pick up another series for us to take a look at later on. Have fun.